What's up guys, Eterno here, and today I'm gonna show you how to play Locke, the new champion. We are going to play against Katarina. You want to start with Q first, and let's get to his skill explanation. So on passive, Locke's basic attacks deal bonus magic damage on hit increased based on target's missing health. This passive has maximum effect when the target is at 30% HP or lower, and then it deals the most damage. As for the Q, Locke readies a set of soul nails. This ability can be cast up to 3 times within 5 seconds, with a 0.5 second static cooldown between throws. Mana is only consumed on the very first activation, and on first cast, Locke hurls a nail in a target direction, dealing AP scaling magic damage and marking enemies with a soul nail stack for 4 seconds. And subsequent hits refresh this duration. Each hit slows the target by 25% for 1 second, and if a target has 2 or more stacks, the slow increases to 60% and lasts for 2 seconds instead. Also, Locke's next basic attack or E-dash against a marked enemy consumes all accumulated soul nail stacks from Q, and this deals bonus magic damage per stack, which is further increased by 20% for 2 stacks and by 40% for 3 stacks. There's a refund mechanic. If Locke does not use all 3 available casts, each remaining nail refunds 20% to 35% of the ability's mana cost and cooldown, scaling with champion level. Saving 2 remaining recasts can grant up to 40% to 70% total refund. Q applies area damage for the nail missile and deals spell damage for the stack consumption. Spell Shield will block the nail missile but not the stack consumption as well, and the stacks will not be consumed if the triggering basic attack is dodged, blocked or missed while Locke is blinded. This ability will cast from wherever the caster is at the start of the cast time. As for W, Locke ignites his soul for 6 seconds, costing 50 mana and 2% of his current health per second. He instantly grants level scaling bonus attack speed and AP scaling movement speed boost, and the movement speed decays over 2 seconds. While burning for 2% of current health through damage each second, Locke stores 100% of the damage taken from enemy champion as grey health in this duration. This pool is capped based on ability rank, with 125% AP scaling, but is further increased by a flat amount that scales based on his missing health and how much time has passed during this ability. The bonus health scaling hits its maximum cap when Locke drops below a specific low health threshold. There's a recast mechanic that heals. After a 0.5 second delay, Locke can recast this ability early and will do so automatically when the 6 seconds duration ends. Recasting immediately ends the self-damage burn and consumes the accumulated grey health to heal him for that exact amount. This ability can be activated or recast even while Locke is fully crowd controlled, so that way you can bypass crowd control effects. The health cost updates dynamically with Locke's current health, costing less the lower his remaining health is. It is not based on his current HP at the time of cast. Then his E, Locke instantly blinks to a chosen spot, dealing AP scaling magic damage to all nearby enemies upon his arrival. After a 0.1 second delay, Locke empowers his next basic attack within 4 seconds. This grants him 275 bonus attack range and causes him to dash directly at his target. The dash deals AP scaling magic damage to all enemies in his path, triggers on-hit effects on the primary target, and consumes any active soul nail stacks on enemies hit. Scoring a takedown, which means kill or an assist, against an enemy champion completely resets the cooldown of this ability. Locke cannot use the empowered basic attack to perform the dash if he is currently immobilized or grounded. The dash itself does not count as a basic attack. It will not trigger on-hit effects or affect the basic attack timer. However, it will fail to deal damage to the primary target if Locke is blinded or when the attack is dodged or blocked. The dash travels a fixed distance, Positioning Locke 125 units behind the target if he would otherwise overshoot his attack range. It can cross terrain if the target is on the other side, but fails if the target is right at the edge of his attack range over terrain. So it means if you're predicting the enemy to gap close, and you wanna just gap close as well with the E, you need to be closer to the target initially, which will make you closer to the wall. The dash is completely disabled by immobilizing, grounding or disarming effects, though disarms let him keep the bonus range still. If he attacks normally while immobilized, the empower is not consumed. Taunts and berserk effects are exceptions. They force Locke to dash towards the source of the CC, and at the end of the dash, an automated attack command is issued against the primary target. Locke can cast W mid-dash while all other abilities are buffered. Scoring a takedown resets the cooldown and allows a recast even if the dash buff is still active. So this is really OP. You get kill on an assist, or the target just dies within 3 seconds of you damaging that enemy, and you can instantly just dash again. At first you blink and then you can also close distance with the dash. That way there is no escape for enemies pretty much. Recasting refreshes the 4-second dash window after the blink. A spell shield will block either the initial blink damage or the subsequent dash damage, but it cannot block both phases. Finally, his ultimate, Locke hurls a totem artifact to a target area, creating a powerful zone for area damage, crowd control and potential permanent scaling. The totem takes 0.5 seconds to travel and 0.25 seconds to land. Upon landing, it fires nails at nearby enemies, dealing AP scaling magic damage, reviewing them for 1 second and slowing them by 99%, decaying over 2 seconds. It also places a mark on enemy champions for 5 seconds. Any marked enemy champion whose health drops below 10%, 11% or 12% of their maximum health based on rank of this ability is instantly executed. Each successful execution resets the 5-second mark duration on all other currently marked targets. Once all marks expire, if Locke successfully executed at least one champion, the totem seals their souls and drops to the ground as an item. Locke then can walk over the dropped totem to pick it up. Collecting the totem grants Locke a permanent stack for each sealed champion, which increases the execution threshold by 0.5% per stack for the rest of the game, which is OP. It also refunds 20% of current ultimate's cooldown per soul collected. The dropped totem remains on the ground for a duration equal to the ability's remaining cooldown at that moment, with a minimum lifetime of 10 seconds. Now as for the tips, we're gonna start with the passive. This passive grants massive bonus magic damage on hit based on how low the enemy's health is, so you should avoid opening trades with just basic attacks. Just chunk the target with abilities first so your auto attacks benefit from the maximum missing health scaling. And you should use your passive to easily secure minions under your turret or contest epic monsters, as the missing health damage makes it difficult for enemies to outsmite or outburst you when targets are heavily chunked. As for the Q, during the laning phase it's more realistic to Q and auto attack in between to activate the extra damage. But you have to remember that you deal more damage if you stack the Q and then auto attack. So ideally you should apply 3 Q stacks first and then auto. But since early game you might not be able to apply 3 stacks and then auto attack, so then it's fine to auto attack in between, especially as we are going to get Lichbane as first item, granting extra on-hit damage. And on the lane you should be making short trades just enough to trigger your electrocute and you should back. Since a spell shield blocks the nail missile but not the stack detonation, you can safely detonate pre-existing soul nail stacks via basic attacks or your E-dash even if an enemy like Severe or Nocturne pops their shield. This ability fires from wherever Locke is standing at the exact start of the cast time. You can combo this by buffering Q right before using flash or moving to catch enemies off guard. Next for the W, Because both the activation and the healing recast can be used while fully crowd controlled, you should not panic if you get caught by a heavy stun or snare. Just pop W to mitigate the burst with grey health and recast it during CC to save yourself. The bonus flat healing from this ability scales higher the lower Locke's health drops. For maximum health returns, you should delay your healing recast on W until the very last moment of the 6-second window to let your missing health multiplier reach its peak. The 2% current health per second cost updates dynamically. This means it naturally burns you for less health as you get lower on HP, making it mathematically safer to hold the ability active when running on low HP. As for the E, since I have mentioned about appearing 125 units behind the target, you should use this mechanic intentionally to body block enemy escape paths or dodge predictable skill shots like Ari's Charm or Locke's Q by dashing right through them, which is not gonna be expected, especially as it's a new champion, so you can use this mechanic to your advantage. Also, while you can dash over terrain to attack an enemy on the other side, the ability has 0 terrain grace. If the enemy moves to the exact edge of your attack range while over the wall, then the dash will completely fail. You should always ensure your target is cleanly clear of the wall before committing. You can cast W right in the middle of your E dash to instantly gain the attack speed the moment you land, and all other abilities will be buffered to fire immediately after the dash finishes. And a tip for ultimate: a successful execute completely resets the 5 seconds mark duration on all other champion hits by the totem. In teamfights, you should focus down the lowest health marked target first, because killing them extends the duration for your team to chip down the remaining enemies into your execute threshold. And then it's just gonna trigger again. You should never forget to walk over and collect the totem from the ground after a successful execution, because permanently increasing your execution threshold by 0.5% per soul and refunding 20% of your ultimate's cooldown is essential for your late game assassin scaling. You should also be aware that Guardian Angel or Zillion's ultimate completely blocks souls from being sealed. However, facing a champion like Zachen will still allow the totem to harvest their soul when their resurrection mechanics trigger. Now, as for the combo, the primary burst and engagement combos for Locke revolve around maximizing his Q stacks and timing his E. You should use this sequence from a bush or flank to immediately melt squishy targets. So then you should use your E, then Q, then auto attack, second E and ultimate. So you buffer your Q directly into your first dash to land a fast stack. Then you should pop the Q mark with an auto attack to reset your cooldowns, follow up with your second dash and secure the execute with your ultimate, while using flash to reposition or escape counter attacks. For maximum damage per second combo on extended fights, so for example when fighting bruisers or tanks or when skirmishing in the jungle, you should first W, then apply all of your Q stacks, then auto attack to get the best value of damage from all stacks combined, then both casts of the E into ultimate. So you should start by pressing W to gain an immediate burst of decayed movement speed, which allows you to position perfectly and land all 3 Q skill shots in a row consecutively, and landing all 3 stacks before auto attacking yields a massive damage multiplier. The bonus attack speed from your W then guarantees a near instant auto attack animation to pop the marks cleanly, before using your E to track their escape and finishing with your execute ultimate. The only exception is if you're really close to the target and you just wanna stack that Q, then you can use your W later if you wanna use it for attack speed in the first place, or when the enemy starts escaping. Burn. Yeah, because he still had that shield, so I knew I had to ignite. And when pushing you can also proc attack speed. This champion has so much in his kit.
An enemy has been slain. Rampage. An ally has been slain. Double kill.
First monster I ever knew? Dear I got you.
Shut down.
Oh, she got it. Let's see. She's going for that next wave, I think. There's 4 of them, okay. I think they have vision. Hey, squishy Unara.
My only rule.
Also, Locke really benefits from movement speed.
Has destroyed.
I have movement speed from 3 items. Nice. And he's so good at chasing too. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed this and that you learned something on how to play Locke. If you found this helpful, you can like and subscribe. I also do coaching and I can help you with Locke and other champions. So if you wanna improve at League and climb ranked faster, you can contact me on Discord in the video description. Also check out my stream and my other channel as well. Thanks for watching and see you next time.